Yes, sir.
Thank you, Congressman. My name is Garrett Spain. I'm a senior here at Greenwood High School. In 2015, you co-sponsored a bill known as the USA Freedom Act. This essentially extended and modified the Patriot Act with some restrictions on FISA court abilities. But my question is regarding the future of this type of surveillance. Given the political climate of today in the Middle East, number one, do you feel like this sort of surveillance will need to revert back to the large-scale collection methods in order to protect our homeland from a potential terrorist attack by a foreign or domestic entity? And as a continuation of that question, do you feel that the government's responsibility of protecting its citizens requires them to do something that many deem unconstitutional according to the Fourth Amendment?
Well, you just put your finger on the seminal issue, which is both national security and privacy are of constitutional dimensions, right? They're both mentioned with specificity in our Constitution. So you're balancing your Fourth Amendment privacy expectations, privacy rights, with national security. You're not balancing privacy with something that's not in the Constitution. These are two constitutional precepts. I am a former prosecutor who greatly values law and order, and I think national security is the preeminent function of government. I am probably going to reconcile that balancing differently from other people based on my background. If there's going to be an overcorrection, I am probably going to overcorrect towards national security. Why? You do have the freedom of speech, and you do have the freedom to have government seek a warrant in most instances, and you do have the freedom of a jury trial, and you do have the right to counsel, and not a single one of those rights is of much use to you if you're dead. So that's kind of the way I look at it is the life. If you want to go back to the Declaration of Independence, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, life is required for you to enjoy most of your other freedoms. So I am now, having said that, and I want to give a word of compliment to Senator Cotton. Senator Cotton stood on the floor of the House and defended this nation's right to protect itself even during a time when it wasn't all that popular to do so. He has a unique background, both military, he's a lawyer, but he wanted to go in as an infantryman and not as a lawyer. And he's on the Senate Intel Committee right now. If you were on the House Intel Committee with me and Ricky Crawford, or you were on the Senate Intel Committee with Tommy Cotton, you would see that there are lots and lots of people who want to do you harm. And they want to do you harm not because they know you and you've offended them in some way. They want to do you harm because you are an American. So you want your government protecting you. The big threat to me, not the bulk data collection, nearly as much as FISA is an agreement that we're going to allow government to have certain powers, and in exchange for those powers, you are going to protect the privacy of U.S. citizens. And when I see things leaked on the front pages of major newspapers that are supposed to remain classified and secret because they involve U.S. persons, then this agreement we made with government that we will give you power, but you have to treat it responsibly and safeguard our privacy, that agreement is subject to being renegotiated. So what I would tell my friends at the Department of Justice is if you want Tom Cotton, Steve Womack, Ricky Crawford, French, Bruce, Senator Bozeman, you want us to defend the reauthorization programs, take the leaks seriously and do something about them. It's a felony to disseminate classified information, and I'd like to see the leaks taken just as seriously as the last questioner took the right to privacy.